So one of you asked me a question on the channel, you follow me for a while, how can you overcome the fear of stuttering on the phone or stuttering at work? And it's going to be the answer that you don't want and that most people don't want to hear. The way that you overcome the fear of stuttering is you've got to keep stuttering in front of people. You've got to face it. And you've got to not be afraid to be afraid of stuttering, and it will liberate you, it will free you from the terrifying fear that you have. Because I don't have that fear anymore, many people don't, I used to. And I want to get you to this point. You got to not care about caring about what people think, because it's the shame. It's the shame, it's the embarrassment, it's the humiliation of other people seeing you stutter and stammer. But you got to realize that it's so small that no one really cares. They forget about it, they're worried about their problems. And if you keep facing it, you're not going to stutter no more. Because I used to stutter in all situations because of my anxiety, fear. And that's why I don't stutter hardly anymore. Because of practicing, because of doing the work. And you can only do this by doing the work. You can't sit at home and hide behind the computer or my videos or live streams or any successful person. You cannot hide. It will never go away. You're never going to get rid of it. You have to face it. You have to accept it. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to, even if you don't like it, you have to face it. And this is how I overcame this problem that I know that you can overcome. But you've got to go through suffering. The suffering of the uncomfortable emotions that come up, the suffering of the worry and the stress about what people will think about you. And when you get to a confident place, when you get to where I am, and many of my clients are, you won't care what they think, because you will be so happy that you're now in a confident place. But you can only get to that confident place by going through the anxieties, by going through those moments where you feel awkward, you feel paranoid, you feel judged. You've got to go through feeling judged hundreds of times until you're not scared of it no more. You know it, you practice it, and then guess what happens? Because you've done so much exposure therapy, your mind, your emotions, you'll get control of your thinking, your perception will change, and you will not be afraid of it. When you're not afraid of something, you don't get the trigger anymore. Or at very worst, which is still a best case scenario, when it comes up, you can control it. So I would say where you're going wrong at the moment is you're allowing yourself to be a coward. You are avoiding situations, whether it's on the phone, at work. You're purposely protecting yourself. You're removing yourself from these emotional triggers because you don't want to go through it. And that's why you're going to be in a place now where you're miserable, you're not happy. Because I know that this can affect every area of your life. I had a client years ago, right? I won't say his name because he might not want to be named publicly. And he had the exact same problem you had. He had a stammer and a stutter problem. He did my 6 weeks program to start with. And he met me and he told me about it, and he was stuttering in front of me, right? I didn't give a shit. I loved the guy. The guy was great. I respected him because I knew what it took. And he had this with people, everybody, with women, with people. After 6 weeks of doing the work with me, facing his social anxiety, coming to my events, doing public speaking, going on first dates, going out, making new male friends, going on dates, he eventually got a girlfriend. He stopped stuttering because it was psychological. It's a nervous tick because he practiced. I purposely bring him in that feeling. I kept pushing him in those social situations, and he practiced his way out of that social tick, that trigger, which was stuttering or stammering, or, you know, when you can't get your words out, you can't get the words out. You got to unstuck yourself. It's a fear of expressing yourself. And of course it goes back to trauma. Of course it goes back to childhood, being bullied. And it happened to me at school when I was younger. It happened, and everybody laughed, and then you get, humiliated. You're so ashamed of it. You're so embarrassed that you never want to experience that again, but you've got to experience it again. You got to say fuck it, and you've got to go through it 100 times if you have to. And I promise you, that's how you get to an elite level of confidence, and that's how you get to a level where, in a healthy way, people will say, oh my God, how is he that confident? Or how is that woman that confident? How does he get on stage and speak in front of all those people? How does he do YouTube videos? How is he so confident? Because he went through it. Because I went through what I'm asking you to go through. Hell and back emotionally to get to the place you want to be. And it's worth it. It's 100% worth it to prove everybody wrong that put you down, that shamed you, that bullied you, that humiliated you, or you allowed them, however it went. You can overcome it, but you can only do it through action. You can't be a coward and do it. You cannot see lots of people, they want a teacher, they want a guru to give them something that's going to give them permission to remain a coward and have a great life and fix all their issues. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It's not as easy as that, which is why you appreciate it when you go through the difficulty. So you've got to socialize. You know, everybody wants to get a six-pack, but without going to the gym, without doing the dieting. Impossible. Unless you're genetically gifted, which most people are not, you ain't going to get a six-pack. You're going to have a flat pack. So with the social anxiety, many people who follow this channel, many people around the world, they want to overcome their social anxiety without overcoming it, without facing it. They want an anecdote, they want a therapy session, they want a blue pill, a red pill, whatever pill you want to name. It doesn't exist. It's bollocks. You have to earn it. You have to go through it, you have to grow through it, and you've got to face social situations. Like I've said before, business, starting a business, learning to sell with honesty is a fantastic avenue and way to get over social anxiety and develop your speaking voice and overcome this fear of stammering and stuttering. I know you can do it. I've done it. I've helped my clients to do it. And you know what? When you commit to it and you face it, when you commit 100% to facing a fear, it's so easy. But to commit to it takes every bit of courage, and that's not easy, because lots of people are going to protect themselves and do whatever they can to avoid rejection, shame, pain, discomfort. Face it all. I faced all of it, and that's how I got to where I got to and achieved the success I achieved. And I know you can do the same. I know you'll appreciate this video because you've asked me to do it. And if you don't like it, and if you don't like what I've said, that's your problem, not my problem. That's your issue to go and deal with, not mine. I'm giving you everything here, and you're getting it for free. You don't have to spend a penny. So all of you, be grateful. Stop complaining about everything and appreciate someone giving you their hard-earned wisdom, because I had to go through, I had to overcome suicidal thoughts, suicidal tendencies to get to this point, to be in a good place to help you guys, and it was worth it. So start today. Voluntarily go on the phone. Say, I want to go on the phone. I want to go in the arena, the place that makes me stutter, and I want to work for it, and I want to stutter my way into confidence where I don't stutter no more. All right, have a blessed day, fearless.